Hi, I'm Mike Beliveau, as you guys know, and today I'm up here at the West Shore Sportsman's Club, and you're going to get a little bit of a different kind of video this week, and I apologize for that. Originally, you were scheduled to get a video on the Sharps rifle, and in fact I was filming that on another range earlier this morning, but there's no way that I can get all the still photography done and the editing and everything that has to happen by tomorrow, because this happens to be Wednesday right now. And I thought I'd explain why that is, because sometimes life gets in the way. So if you ever wondered how I occupy my time, besides researching, writing, and filming videos, here's a little taste of it. I spent 5 days out of the last week here at the West Shore Sportsman's Association, here at the gun club. And only one of them was filming, which is today. So, for 3 days, I was taking the classes and shooting the qualifiers for a couple of CCW permits in states that never used to give them, that happen to border my state of Pennsylvania. And since we had the Bruin Supreme Court decision, and they have to comply, now we're able to apply for CCWs there, which will be great because it'll mean I won't have to stop at the Maryland state line, take off my gun, unload it, lock it in a box, put it in the back of the truck, drive across the state of Maryland, wherever I'm going, get out after the state line, and arm up again before I get going. So that was well worth my time, and the qualifiers were fun to shoot. They were easy, and got them done. But the other day that I was here was doing this, because as you guys probably know, I'm an officer here. I've had a number of positions in the club, but right now I'm the assistant treasurer, which is dead easy because our treasurer, Mike Burke, is absolutely the most competent treasurer any club could ask for. And therefore, all I have to do is count up money a couple of times a month and hand it to him, and he does everything else. So it's a pretty easy job. But it just so happens that somehow, along the line, I picked up the responsibility for any excavation work done on the club. And you'd be surprised how much there is. So my project for this spring and summer was to excavate and set up a steel action pistol range here in the club, and that's what we're on now. This will be range 6. We don't have the signage up yet, but we excavated this early in the spring, and I researched and went to the membership and got money approved to buy these steel targets, and then we had to haul them out here and set them up, and I certainly didn't do that all alone, believe me. We had volunteers helping us out, and it was great. But it was a lot of work. I was out here quite a bit during the excavation, and of course then setting up. And this is the second time we've set up, and I had to go down to York to get these things off of FedEx in my pickup truck, and it took 3 of us to unload the truck because this baby weighs almost 600 pounds. And then we had to come up with an installation plan for it, and the first one did not work out. And if you watch me shooting this, it looks like it's 100 years old. That's how shot up it is already. It's almost brand new. That's just how much volume we have here at the club of shooting. So I was back out here Saturday, and we tore this down, did a little more excavation, and did a new setup for anchoring it, and got it set up, and that was how that day went. And I'm pretty pleased. Now this is probably not going to be the last time we have to do this, because we're anchoring it to wood, pressure treated lumber, and I reckon we'll get somewhere between 2 and 5 years out of that, and that'll give you plenty of time to put the plans together and find the people with the skills to do a concrete pad that we can bolt this thing to, and that'll probably be the last time that we do it. But I do expect to get a couple of years out of that. So that's how most of this week went. Now, I also have a couple other projects going on over here, and we'll run out and take a look at those right now. Now, for the last year, in fact, almost exactly 1 year ago I started working on this. But for the last year, the project that's been taking up a lot of my time is replacing this bridge. Now, the club built this bridge, and this is this road, of course, and the bridge is the only way into the club. And we own the road, but we do have neighbors who use it, so it's pretty important that we keep up with this thing. But this bridge, probably 40 years old, and we had it inspected a year ago and it was not good, so we've got to replace it. And I'm just going to give you an idea of the size of this. Now, we're having an extremely dry year, so there's not much water in here, but we're talking a pretty small span. That's actually a pond, believe it or not. Anyway, this bridge is going to be replaced, and for the last year, I've been learning everything I can about bridges. It's very complex. But we finally settled on a design just a couple of months ago, and we're having a prefab bridge built for us in northwestern PA. It's going to be hauled down here and put in storage because, of course, we've got to permit and engineer this. And believe it or not, the permitting and engineering requirements for our little bridge like this is exactly the same as if we were PennDOT, Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, and we were building a bridge on the PA Turnpike. So it's costing us about $30,000 just to do the permitting and engineering. And it's going to take 9 months to get the permit. We're just about done with the engineering right now, our engineering firm. So, because we're in bog turtle habitat, after we get the permit, we're only going to be able to work on the bridge in the winter months. So it's going to be a pretty complex project, but hopefully within a year or two, this will all be done, and then we can move on to the next project, which is the road. All right, well, we're coming up on the entrance to the gun club here, our road, and if you can see it, you can see that it is in terrible shape. So after I build the bridge, well, I'm not building it, but after we replace the bridge, we've got to rebuild this road. So my next project, which I'm doing right now, is researching surveyors, because we've got to get the parcels that contain this road surveyed before we can get the engineering and design work done for building the road, because we can't just repave it. Because the problem is we're halfway up kind of a low mountain over here in central PA, and the gun club owns the top half of the mountain. But because we're on a mountain, there's a tremendous amount of runoff water, and water is what's undermining this road. It's just ripping it to pieces. So this is the project I'll be working on that'll keep me busy after the bridge is done. Okay, I know somebody's going to say, Mike, what are you doing holding your gun crooked gangbanger style? That's no way to shoot. Well, actually, I'm just practicing. This is a technique that I was taught at a defensive handgun class not too long ago. That it's a 45-degree angle, and it actually is a much more stable one-handed shooting position than the usual straight up and down for repeat shots. And believe me, it works. I've been practicing this quite a bit, and I still shoot my Western handguns, normal duelist fashion, but for self-defense, this is a one-hand technique that works. I hate that. Got him. So that's what keeps me busy here at the gun club. That sometimes keeps me away from doing videos. And of course, I also have, you know, a home and family life, just like all of you do, where things come up and there are things that have to be done every week without fail. So sometimes, unfortunately, I miss it doing a video. And the reason I'm putting this out there is because if I don't put a video out every Thursday, I invariably start getting emails and messages saying, are you okay? So I'm okay. I'm old, but I'm not dead. But I appreciate people's concern, but I'll get plenty of those if I don't have a video out there. So I thought I'd just put this out and let you know what's been keeping me busy. And next week you should have a video on the Sharps, kind of a new variation on an old theme, and I hope that you enjoy that. And until then, bye.